guys? My name is Noah. I am 20 years old and I'm happy to speak with you guys today. I'm excited to talk. It is my first time speaking in a big public group like this. Yeah. If you don't know, if you've had a conversation with me, you know where I'm from. I'm from Seattle, which is quite a long ways away. It's across the country. To be exact, it's 2,854 miles away. I didn't look that up.
All right, man.
It took me 4 days to drive with my dad, so safe travels. Most of you didn't know, I didn't have any friends when I came here, so Google Maps was my best friend. But for most of you who have moved across country and have moved to a place far like this, can oftentimes feel disorienting, can feel confusing, can even feel lost.
Yeah.
And asking yourself, why am I here? Why did God send me here? Why did I get put in this place? Which you can relate yourself to that question of asking yourself, how can I find my flow in these moments, in these places?
Yeah.
But I'm excited because I feel like having moved across the country, it's a bit of a different perspective that God can put on people's hearts, including mine, for what I want to talk about today. So I want to get into my title of, it's called Finding Your Flow.
There you go.
So I want to get into my first verse, which is Ecclesiastes 3:1. It says, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Which, to explain that, I can split it up into two different parts. First part is, there's a time for everything. You can probably relate to yourself saying, like, there's a time and place for everything where you can travel, time and place for you to be at this church, move to that church, move to this home, move to this community, different things like that. You can relate to yourselves. And the second part of that says, and there's a season for every activity under the heavens, which you can relate to that basically of God watching you, God trying to like guide you and direct you in different areas of your life. And that's basically what God's doing and how I got here from all the way from Seattle. It's quite a long distance. And so that's how I want to be able to find my flow in these moments. But I want to get into my main verse that relates to me a lot, which is 2 Timothy 1:7. It says, for the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. I want to break that down into 4 different parts, which is the 4 different words, timid, love, power, and self-discipline. So the first word is timid, which it basically the meaning is fear, or fear of changes, fear of making decisions that you don't feel like you want to make, or fear of moving across country, moving as far as I did, which it could be a fear of applying for an internship where it would probably change your life, change an aspect of what you're living in. Next word is power, but the line gives us power in the verse. It's a very strong word that most people can relate to. Gives us power relates to prayer. Gives us power for worship, gives us power for reading your Bible, serving the youth, which I'm in an e-group at the moment right now. So I'm being able to lead the youth, give them power for leading and guiding them in directions when they don't know if there's a way or what God is. But if you're not in an e-group, that's a chance. But other than that, God can give us power for leading others, give us power for showing the way of the Lord. The next word is love, which relates to a story about me, which is about my sister and my family. Mostly my sister, because the way that I would express the word love is towards her, because I love her a lot, because she has got me and guided me here to this place. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't really be here applying or at this internship. And so, because of her, I was able to be at Youth X, to be a leader, to be able to lead the youth because of her. And with her, I was able to be in this internship. And every day, I'm able to share my activities, whatever I do in the daily process. I'm able to share with her. She wants to be kept up daily because she feels like she's included. And so, that makes me happy that I can share. Although, I feel like I shouldn't be here, but at the same time, I'm here for a reason. I'm here for a purpose. And so, with that, I want to share that I love her for that, for me being able to love on her sharing what I do, including my family. I call them every day, every night to tell them I love them and tell them good night because I don't get to in person. With the last word, it's self-discipline. Self-discipline can relate to all of you a lot. It could be a struggle. It could be you trying to get through something, being at the gym, not being motivated, not wanting to do what you want to do. For me, self-discipline relates to me of playing the drums. I started last year in August. At first it was cool. I thought I could play well, but then halfway through it was a bit of a struggle. And so my friend was seeing that, and he kind of guided me and helped me through with that. And I didn't want to continue playing. I wanted to quit because I thought I wasn't good. But then he was like, no, you gotta keep playing. You gotta keep doing it. And till this day, I can play about 43 songs.
Let's go!
Which, not well. I can't play them. But the one song I did learn how to play was Praise, and I outplayed that because my friends are annoyed whenever I play it. But it's cool. I learned how to play a lot of songs. But with that, you gotta embrace the journey, embrace when you're going through tough times, you gotta embrace that. You can't be timid through different seasons. You gotta trust the Lord and what He's trying to guide you and lead you through. And there's always something that you're going through, and it's for the right reason. And so breaking all that down, there is 4 words that I listed earlier: love, power, timid, and self-discipline. Those can all relate to how you can find your flow, which is my title. With that, love relating to how I got here. Self-discipline is keeping me here. And with that, the question that we should all be asking ourselves is, how can you find your flow?
Let's go!
Out of the way.
Well, no, great job. Would love a chance for our staff and friends in the back. Any encouragement, helpful feedback to give Noah?
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yeah, go first.
Yeah. No, I just want to say I'm proud of you. Obviously this is the first time you've spoken in front of a group like this, and watching you through the process of communication has been really cool to see how much effort and energy you've put into actually rehearsing, communicating it over and over and getting it on the inside of you. And so the fact that you have your notes, you're referencing them, but then you're kind of communicating to everybody else, makes it feel like you're not just reading something off of a doc. So I can kind of tell the amount of energy and effort that you've put into it. The thing I would just encourage you with is lean into who you are. We talked a little bit about this. If y'all know Noah, he's a funny guy, but also like it takes a little bit for him to come out of his shell. And so the point that we've been talking through this whole time with his sevens is him being who he is supposed to be, and not trying to be like any other communicator, but finding your voice. So as you communicate more, it's a muscle that you have to keep working at. And so continue to internalize and like recite your thing like hundreds of times. So it's really on the inside of you. I love the verses that you put in there as well. That was really great. And then just like you being up there, being so comfortable, you're acting all nervous and stuff, but the fact that you're with everybody here, you did a great job of kind of communicating everything you were saying. So it was a great job.
Yeah, I'll say, I met Noah, 2 years ago now? 2 years ago in Seattle at the pop-up. He served in the baptism team. And once I met Noah, I was like, bro, you're on my baptism team every time. And so he served at every pop-up. And to go from that Noah to see this, I'm like, bro, what the heck? What just happened?
I'm shocked too.
And I think like just from bro to bro and like even chef to bro, there's a lot of bros back here. You know what I'm saying? Like, just going into the whole brain funk of like, how do I communicate this? Like I cannot, it just kind of piggyback off of what Shep said enough. Like, I felt like you were you, and I'm excited to see how God reveals who you are through the way that you communicate. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I was hearing snippets of it, I'm like, oh, there he is. He's making me laugh. Even you just coming back with this, like, I'm shocked too. I'm like, bro, God shocks us all.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what I'm just being reminded of as you were speaking, of like, wow, how God surprises us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I just want to encourage you by saying, like, let God to continue to surprise you. Be more open-minded to what he's doing in and through you, but let him shock the crap out of you. You know what I mean? And share that. You're not sharing you, you're sharing what God's doing.
Yeah.
Share that,
That's
you
great.
know? And so, anyways, just great job, bro. Super proud.
Absolutely.
Also, I would say like, what? Say like, share what you like your life is pretty cool. Because in so many things, and with your testimony, like I felt like related to it. Because of course I moved here from very far, from the same distance. So it's like, oh shoot, like awesome, like I can like apply so much things that you just said and spoke to my own life.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shoot, like yeah, I still need to find that flow. And I will relate so much things and apply so much things that you said to my own life. So yeah, just share that and share what God is doing through your life.
Yeah.
So you can tell like someone else.
Yeah. No, super proud. Even first time, I could tell whenever you first started, your knee was kind of going, but then you were so confident, and then you kind of said your thing, and it was great. The fact that you like spent your time really well, you had like different like parts of where you were going. So I feel like for first time, you did a really great job. So I would continue to build off of this. Like look back at your video, see ways that you can continue to like practice, or like, oh man, I could have said it like this, or oh, like if I was gonna share it to my e-group guys, how would I say it to them? So like building off of the skill that you're developing, I think you'll do a great job with that. The one thing that I'll say is I love that you broke down the 4 different points from your second verse, and you gave some great application for the people in the room, and shared some personal experiences as well. But maybe the like next step of vulnerability would be where those things may be a challenge. So like where love would be a challenge, where self-discipline would be a challenge. So kind of inviting people into the, like these are things that I do in self-discipline, or I do in love, or I am getting over being timid. But this is like where I'm finding God and how He's helping me go through it. So that would be the next step of vulnerability, but I think that you did a really great first step. So that would be like, hey, 2.0, go into that space, and it's like, okay, and this is where I am timid, and where God's working on me this season, or this is where like love is hard. So kind of entering in that space. But I feel like you did a really great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Would love for 2 interns to be able to share some encouragement. So okay, let's do all 3. So Zachary, Viraj, and Rudy.
So I just want to say, like, you did a really good job. I know over the past few days you've been workshopping with me, sharing the process with me, and in this moment, I didn't hear you lose that authority we were talking about earlier. Like, whatever you said, that's what I said, and we're gonna go with it. You weren't second guessing yourself as you were saying things. You were just owning the space and really working on that. So I just want to say great job.
No, I'm your roommate, so like it's really cool to get to hear you, and like Zachary was saying, like having that power and that authority to speak these words and share what God has been doing in your life, and having the point where you said that love got you here, and self-discipline is keeping you here. Bro, that'll preach. Like, and it did. Like you did like a phenomenal job. Just and you could tell that you really went to God to find what you wanted to speak about today.
I think you did a great job. I love the whole like find your flow. Everyone needs to find their flow. Like you can't go wrong with that topic, because anyone who lives needs to like find their flow. And self-discipline as well, and Stephen preaches this all day long, is something that everyone has to work on. Like you're gonna lose some discipline and gain it in seasons and whatnot. So love it. I think that one thing maybe in your practicing, like moving forward, maybe for, do y'all do 7s again still? Well, maybe we should. Anyways, like just maybe practicing more on like transitions, so like connecting the dots a little bit. I think a couple of points it took me a second to be like, oh wait, what are we doing? Oh, that's how it relates kind of thing. So maybe just thinking through like, okay, how am I gonna transition from here to here?
Yeah.
Rather than kind of like letting it come out kind of thing, but, overall, love it.
Helpful, very helpful.
Okay, my thing was, you could like,
I'm with it.
we all know that you haven't spoken in public before, but you couldn't tell. You did a great job communicating and articulating what you were gonna say, and you could really tell that you spent time thinking it through and praying about it and letting God speak through you rather than overthinking what you're gonna say. So I just wanted to applaud you for letting God speak through you.
Thank you.
Great job, Noah.